My baby's in the graveyard, she's waiting for me up there, thinking of a real high, thinking of the graveyard. In the back of a hearse is where I met her first. With the sexy scent, in the coffin bed. The skin is so cold, but the love is warm, and I will bring her back from beneath the earth. Well, now my love is buried, baby, 6 feet underground. You're missing her, 6 feet underground. Time to dig her up, 6 feet underground. Wanna see my little 6 feet underground. By the graveyard trail, her body lays with me. When the time was come, her bones will turn to dust. This life is so short, but it takes so long, and I can only hope we'll be in the beyond. And my love is buried, baby, 6 feet underground. No, I'm missing her, 6 feet underground. Time to dig her up, 6 feet underground. Wanna see my little 6 feet underground. 6 feet underground now. Oh, I'm underground. Well, my baby's in the graveyard, she's waiting for me up there, thinking of a real high, thinking of the graveyard. Now my love is buried, baby, 6 feet underground. No, I'm missing her, 6 feet underground. Time to dig her up, 6 feet underground. Wanna see my little 6 feet underground. 6 feet underground All right, are we here? Yeah. Let's see. Wow. Damn, I had a viewer actually pop up finally. Okay. Well, I had a viewer pop up, but they must have disappeared. I guess they're not a fan of the Coffin Cats. I can't say I blame them though. I mean, psychobilly is kind of an acquired taste, honestly. So, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but I'm not doing my usual mining through the ages. I'm not playing in Java version 1.0 today. I mean, you could probably see that in the little corner there. I do plan on continuing the Java 1.0 and then continuing on through the ages. It's just right now I have a bit going on. I'm going to be going on vacation tomorrow. So, I can't really be as focused on any real, like, super long-term goal, necessarily. However, I do want to play some Minecraft. I do want to stream. It has been about a week exactly since I last streamed. So, I did do a couple of things here that should help me prevent dropping frames. So, let's see. Hold on. Let me just see if... Yeah, because my camera won't even... Oh, I guess my camera will see me, which I guess is cool, but I'm in the dark right now, so... It's not like it's going to be much. Let's see. Because I don't want... I want to be able to see
the chat box too. So this what I can do is like that. Put me in a little corner here. And then we'll set up the chat box up there. That works. Alright, and we are pretty much set up here. So I did make a couple of changes to help with my streaming. I looked up a few things to possibly help prevent the dropping of frames through this stream, which I'm hoping works out. One thing was just running Streamlabs in administrator mode. Another thing the video said was to just run OBS instead of Streamlabs. Because apparently OBS is actually less resource intensive than Streamlabs, despite everything I've read to the contrary. So I am going to try a few things here, and that's essentially what this video today is I want to test out, because I really want to play other games on this channel, especially if I'm going to be streaming. So I want to see if I can make this work without dropping a bunch of frames. Now, having the video camera is nice. As you can see, I have my lights off, so you probably can't see me all that well. But if you've seen any of my previous streams, you'll know if I turn these lights on, you'll be able to see me just fine. I am just kind of trying to have a relaxation day today. And I figure what better to do than to just stream some Minecraft. The other thing is I do have OBS, and I do use OBS, but I use it for a completely different project. And the thing is, if I were to change that in any way, shape, or form, because of like all the specific parameters I have set up for it and everything, it'll just completely fuck up the side project I'm working on. I have to change a whole bunch of shit and everything, and it's just... I like having Streamlabs as a separate thing that I can do everything else in besides this side project. So, I guess what I'm going to do here is... I guess what I could do... As you can see, I have two worlds. This is my personal world. I'll have to show you guys my personal world sometime. But what I am going to do is play some Skyblock. Because I know Skyblock is not super resource intensive. This is actually like really old. This is like an old map. This is a very old map. So it shouldn't mess with frames or anything, I'm hoping. And I might even just keep my texture pack off too. Yeah. Although I really like my texture pack. And yeah, so I guess I could play on this. It's a really old map that I got friggin' forever ago. But it's old school Skyblock. I don't really... I think the problem with Skyblock, especially lately, is they add all these different things that they just seem unnecessary. Like, even with this old school map, where there's just like islands and stuff, it still kind of defeats the purpose of an old school Skyblock. Like, you don't need all the extra stuff, all the saplings, all the, you know what I mean? The whole point of Skyblock is you are constrained to just this small amount of materials, and you build from it. And that's something I like about old school Minecraft, and why I was enjoying the 1.0 playthrough I've been on. Is like you get like this... You because you're constrained, you're forced to be even more creative, if that makes sense. Now, I'm just hoping I don't drop a shit ton of frames this time. Hopefully what I did, because I made a couple of modifications to Streamlabs and everything, is because I ran it as an administrator, the Streamlabs should always be on top, which means even like it'll always take priority, which means I shouldn't have any lag on this stream. I might have lag in the game possibly, but not in this stream. So, I mean, this is what I like about old school Skyblock, like classic Skyblock. I mean, you do have some small islands, but that's just so you can get like the other trees and stuff. Otherwise, you're basically just kind of in this world. So, it's like I'm starting off with some fish, lava bucket, and ice. Now I gotta see if I can remember how to make this. Now I know I am gonna want the chest for later. Alright, so now comes the hard part, because if I lose any of these saplings, then that's it for oak in this world. Then there'll never be any more oak in this world. So I am going to need to be mindful about saplings. There's a stick. I just need one sapling, that's all. Come on. Oh man. I don't think I'm getting any saplings. What happens if I... Nope. Alright, so I just so happen to have gotten the one skyblock tree. Oh no, not the apple! Oh, fudge. Yeah, I didn't see any saplings drop. So, my best bet here... Nope, no sapling here. So this is all the wood I have on this island. Alright, let's make our cobblestone generator. And we'll go from there. I just lost a piece of wood too. Damn. Okay. So we're kind of handicapped from the beginning here, which kind of sucks, but we'll recover. We will definitely recover. Because I mean that's not the only tree. I guess it's the one good thing about having multiple islands with trees, because we are definitely going to need the wood from that tree over there, or that one over there, or so on. So we should be alright though. We'll be okay. I have faith in us that we will make this. So, alright, I guess I'm going to have to... See, this is the hard thing about Skyblock is, like, this stuff, you don't want anything to fall, really. But, like, especially something vital, like, this one stick and those 5 logs are literally all the wood that we have until we can get to those islands. Which means I'm definitely going to need the cobblestone generator. It's like a necessity at this point. Which really sucks. Let's see, the grass spread. Okay, yeah. As long as the grass spreads, should be okay here. Because I know I am going to need the grass. I can't lose any of this grass, because this is how we get friendly animals to spawn. Okay. So we have this now, which is good. Alright. Now I gotta remember how to do this. Because I always mess this up with the cobblestone generator, I swear. It's like... And then I think these go down. Like, one of these goes down. I think the lava does? No, the lava has to flow into the water. Okay. Let me... Oh, well, I do need... Yeah, I do need a pickaxe. So we're going to use the limited wood I have here to make a crafting table. Just going to hope this all spreads over here. If I could... Let me see, because what I'll do is I'll move this over here. And this will be like a little home base. Like, I'll eventually build up from here. Oh, no. Okay, I need to let that grass spread. I might have to start over, because I know I need, like, saplings. And... yeah, chat, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over. And we'll go again. We'll go again. And hopefully we'll get saplings next time. Let's see, did I drop any frames? It seems like I did. According to this, let me see my notifications. I'm not skipping as many frames from what Streamlabs is telling me. So that's good. So hopefully this will be a lot less laggy than usual, which will be good. So what we'll do is we'll try the skyblock again. And this time, hopefully, we won't lose any saplings. So, I'll go in normal mode, that's fine. Advanced, show coordinates. No, we don't really need coordinates. Yeah, so I think this is as good as it is. So we'll try this again. And yeah, so hopefully this time I won't lose any saplings. Because, I mean, this is the one thing that sucks about Skyblock is you lose any saplings, and that's your world done. Especially in, like, the real classic Skyblocks, where it's literally just this. Yeah, because, like, in old school Minecraft, your Skyblock, you didn't have all these other islands. And even then, like I said, this is a very old map. So... even now, there are definitely... No! Oh! Damn. Don't tell me I lost that sapling. Okay. There we go. Okay, I got a sapling. Yes! Soldier for Davis! It is so great seeing you again. Why is it always when I'm playing Skyblock that Soldier for Davis pops in? Dyspraxia gang, though, for sure. How is it going, man? Oh. I have a sapling. That is all I really need, though, to be honest. I can be content with just one sapling. Oh. Alright. Woo. Okay, cool. So, we seem to be set up. I didn't lose any logs this time, which is good. And let's just get some of this wood. Now comes the second great filter of this world, and that's actually making the cobblestone generator right. Because if I mess up this cobblestone generator, the world is pretty much screwed too. This is an old map. This is from... oh man, when did I last play this? Because this is from before even like the Nether update. So this is an old like marketplace map. But I forgot where I was going with that. I love dyspraxia, you guys. You were gonna say something and then you totally forgot what you were gonna say. And that's something that it's weird because it's something that like people relate to. Like even non-neurodivergent people like seem to also oh come on, don't yell at me notifications. My computer's telling me it's 12 o'clock because I don't work overnights anymore. Like that's when I used to sleep. It was around noon. So it's blocking the chat. Come on. Hold on. Let me finish placing these blocks here. And then I'll see what happened in the chat. Soldier for Davis. I so here's the thing. I don't think they moan too much. I think the problem is like it's a support group, and it's like and not just our dyspraxia because I mean I'm in a couple of different like subreddits. Like for instance, I have gastroesophageal reflux disease, so I'm in like R GERD, and I'm in like R IBS because of irritable bowel syndrome and all that stuff. So like I think the thing is any sort of support group is going to feel that way because you are going to have a bunch of people complaining about something that is actively affecting them. And I feel like with any support group you're going to see a lot of what you would call moaning. But the thing is I wouldn't say that's moaning too much though. I mean like it does. I mean dyspraxia really sucks, honestly. Like let's be honest, dyspraxia does suck. It's something that's worth moaning for. Um, Now, if a part of it is also a perspective thing too, because like if that's all you're seeing, then it is gonna look like that. It is gonna look like a pity party. But like the thing is, you're only viewing it from the subreddit. Like, and that, for one thing, that's not indicative of all people with dyspraxia. There's this common, like, thing on the internet where people assume that there's, like, a general view of, like, everything that isn't true just because the internet thinks it's true. Like, especially with something like Reddit, a surprising amount of people don't use Reddit. And that includes dyspraxics. So, you know, like, it's hard to say. But, like, the other thing is, though, like I was saying, like, because of the perspective that, you know, you're only seeing these people complaining. I mean, again, for one thing, it's a support group. But for another thing, I mean, that's like one of the top things, too. Because Reddit has sort of like an algorithm. And that's what gets the hits, too. But also, I mean, you don't go into a support group to not vent, so to speak. And I don't really want to use the term moan because I mean that is kind of like it has a negative connotation to it. But like, you know, if you're in a support group, that's what you're gonna do. Like anyone who's been to like, and not to say I have been because I've never been to like AA. We go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I've seen it, like, in, not just on TV shows, but I had a couple of friends who went to Narcanon, which is Narcotics Anonymous, and it's very similar. It's people basically complaining about their issues and how much it sucks. And that's not indicative of all alcoholics. I mean, a lot of the alcoholics you see, you know, don't walk around complaining about how much their lives suck. In fact, if anything, they're usually a lot more inspirational and positive because of their transformation through Alcoholics Anonymous. But when you're in a support group, which most people see, the Dyspraxia subreddit as a support group, they're going to be a lot more melancholy, so to speak. And like there's so much more I could say about that, because there's a lot of complexity that goes into why people are the way they are and why we perceive the internet as the way it is. Like what I was trying to say earlier with how, like, the vast majority of opinions on the internet aren't indicative of the opinions of, like, the average person. And, like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is with most subreddits, it is kind of like any sort of community like that can be viewed as sort of like a support group. Like, because it's somewhere you go to vent and share your feelings, it is essentially like a support group for many people. Um, an argument can be made as to whether or not it should be viewed that way. I can't say one way or another. Let me just see if I should. This should. Let's see. Wait, did I do this right? I don't know if I did this right. I know this is supposed to go down. But it's supposed to flow here, isn't it? Like, let me see, because it is getting dark, but I think. Okay, yeah, cool. So it looks like I did this right. All right, cool. Now we have cobblestone. The cobblestone generator is working, which is perfect timing because I am definitely going to need that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a sapling down next to me too. And hopefully, I think what I'll do then. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I mean, like, when you view the internet too, I mean, not even just the internet as a whole, but even what we view as the internet. Like, not just Reddit, but, like, even if you look at Reddit, like, our Reddit feeds are specialized too. Like, there's so many different subreddits that we all follow that our newsfeed is specialized to us. And that's not just with Reddit. I mean, that's even with Facebook and stuff. Like, who you choose to be friends with and what pages you choose to follow. You get such a personalized view of the internet, too. And that helps shape, like, your perspective of the world. Well, I mean, there are things, like, that are on our Dyspraxia that are interesting. Like, I mean, there are people that share, like, their dyspraxic art. And, I mean, I'm no huge YouTuber or anything. But, like, most of the followers I have found me on the R Dyspraxia subreddit, at least according to my analytics. So, I mean, you can say that there is plenty to do on R Dyspraxia. Just, you know what I mean? And, I mean, that's the other thing that's really interesting. I mean, when you look at, like, perception and how people use things like the internet, even something like, take Minecraft, which is, like, what I'm doing now. I mean, no two people play Minecraft the same way. You got people who do, like, redstone and everything. It's the same thing with the internet, where arguably the internet serves even more broad purposes than even Minecraft. So, like, like, how people use the internet is different. I mean, just because, I mean, not just you, but I mean, it is a common thing to see in the R Dyspraxia subreddit. Just because most dyspraxics, view the subreddit as a support group and something to vent to, they also can view it as a place to share their art or get YouTube views if you're like me or what have you. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's the internet as a whole. The crazy amount of things people have used the internet for. And I mean, it sucks now with like the modern internet, with how corporate the internet has become. Because I mean, I don't know how old you are, Soldier, for Davis, but I mean, I'm sure people will watch this stream back. According to analytics, it seems like it's something people do. At least my fellow YouTube people. Um, but like, I remember when I was growing up, because I grew up in like the early internet, like back when you had things like GeoCities, the dyspraxic porn genre. Well, what about dyspraxia would make it like a porn niche? Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just clumsy. Well, that I guess like most of that modern like porn. I mean, I could see it being that like a it would be a dyspraxic that would get stuck in a washing machine. I those oh help me, I got stuck in the washing machine things like and that's something that I've noticed not just with porn, but like a lot of people think it's absurd when you look at things like the those infomercials, how they always got so meme worthy because like, oh, has this ever happened to you? And it's just some crazy absurd thing that most people like wouldn't think would happen. But like that stuff has happened to me. Like those made for TV like infomercial products were designed for dyspraxics. Like honestly. Like I've related more to those people than I should probably admit. You know what I mean? I'm about to do a pro gamer move here. This is going to be dangerous, but there we go. There we go. Quick reflexes. That's something my dyspraxia doesn't usually allow me to do, but now I got a furnace here. I made such a compact base here. This is nice, though. And I guess what I'll eventually do is replace all this with cobblestone then. And then that way I can use the dirt to create like a place where non-hostile mobs will spawn. There's a witch over there. But yeah, I mean, that's the other thing that's kind of weird is the whole like niche porn thing, like how niche porn can be. Which I didn't expect this stream to turn into discussing porn, but I'm not totally against it either. I'll be honest. It's because it's an interesting thing to talk about, like, because I think like okay, we're gonna since we're talking dirty here, um, not just with porn, but just kinks in general. I find that most people in like the kink space, like not just BDSM, but like other kinks and stuff, tend to be neurodivergent. Not all of them are. I mean, I know plenty of people because I've had my little journeys into the kink space. That's why I'm not entirely unfamiliar with it. Unfamiliar with it. The hills have thighs. Oh, that was a porn? Well, and parody porns are kind of interesting too because they're like it. Most of the time, it's not even for gratification that most people get into it, and that's where porn can almost be seen into an art. But yeah, okay, back to kinks. Um, like I I don't want to incriminate myself by talking too much about kink, like because this isn't inherently a sexual channel. A lot of people like get like comfort from watching my channel. So I don't want to like alienate people by talking a little too sexual here, but like it is something interesting to note that like a lot of the people I know in the kink space are neurodivergent, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if like dyspraxia, dyspraxia, if there were many kinky dyspraxics, because like kink allows for more expression than just vanilla sex. And something I've noticed, which I feel like is important, even for those who are having a tough time with dyspraxia, is that kink can almost be like, I don't know how best to put this, but it can be an accessibility function when it comes to sex. Because I've wanted to do a video on dyspraxic sexuality. And what's kind of stopped me from doing that was like I've had parents who have like commented on my videos and on my Reddit, like have messaged me on Reddit and said, "Oh, my kids have like found a lot of like comfort in your videos and they watch your videos all the time." And I don't want to make videos for kids, to be honest. Like part of the whole purpose of my channel is to talk about the adult perspective of dyspraxia. And part of that, I mean, primarily is like drugs, because, you know, like drugs is like one of my biggest things when it comes to both my channel and just my whole life. Like a lot of that has been crafted through my exploration into psychedelics. And a lot of people, like I notice a lot of dyspraxics get into the whole psychedelic space. Um, so when people tell me that like their kids watch my channel, it like kind of dissuades me from talking about topics like that. But like sexuality is definitely an important thing to discuss, especially with dyspraxia, because like even just regular vanilla sex can be difficult for dyspraxics. Like the positioning and being more prone to um, like muscle weakness and fatigue and stuff. Like sex is like a fucking job. And yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there, Soldier for Davis. Like that's where I feel like a lot of the appeal of my videos has come from, is showing the adult side of dyspraxia, because most resources when it comes to dyspraxia are basically resources for parents who have kids with dyspraxia, but it does really stretch into adulthood. And like part of that isn't their fault though, because like dyspraxia is a very recent diagnosis, to be honest. Like there weren't people even in the 90s being diagnosed with dyspraxia, and most people who are adults who are diagnosed with dyspraxia are only getting diagnosed with it now. Like the thing is, because it's so recent a diagnosis, you're not seeing a lot of adults getting diagnosed with it. It's mostly kids. And most adults have gotten to this point just thinking that, okay, maybe I'm a little weird or something. But, you know, and another part of that is the perspective thing. Because a lot of dyspraxics don't realize what, like, aspects of their life are dyspraxia. Because we only view the world from, well, yeah, that's the other thing. It's the clumsy child syndrome, because, like, even with like modern days, you know, like we live in a culture that is very like work centric. And like I can't speak for people who are in like say European countries, but I know the UK isn't too far behind the US when it comes to being like very industrial and primarily like, okay, we want people to work in the factories and stuff centric. You know what I mean? So, like, they only care about kids to the point of ensuring that they'll graduate. And if they can't graduate, then it's harder to get them in the workforce. And as a result, they put a lot more focus on, okay, we need to do stuff to help with things like learning and stuff. And that's why things like dyspraxia, ADHD, even autism are only primarily seen as learning disabilities more than they are like general neurodivergent aspects that affect their day-to-day lives. Because really, the only people, especially with how the healthcare system is in the US, and now from what I've heard, even the UK is getting pretty bad with it. Um, there's not a whole lot out there for adults to seek help unless it is something that is like blatantly obvious. And like that's why autism kind of gets more visibility, because it's something that's a little bit more obvious, if that makes sense. Like with dyspraxics, because it's seen as like the invisible illness and everything, it's something where at its worst, like if you've got those really ignorant people that completely disregard things like even ADHD and everything, they'll look at us dyspraxics and be like, "Oh, you're just lazy." You know what I mean? I've heard that a lot, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to see dyspraxia from an outside perspective, especially in adults. With kids, you can kind of tell, and you will like, you know what I mean? It affects the day-to-day lives of dyspraxic children a lot more obviously than it affects the lives of dyspraxic adults. Now, I would say that if anything, as a result of that, it's almost harder being a dyspraxic adult because people can't tell, and therefore, they're going to be a lot less open-minded to, oh, hey, we should do something to help this person. Because from an outside perspective, it does look like, oh, we're just lazy, or, oh, you know what I mean? Where with something like autism, like you could, I, okay, I can't talk too much on autism because I don't have autism, but like you ask the average like neurotypical person, and they can usually like as ableist as it is to say this, like they can usually tell somebody is autistic. You know what I mean? And that isn't okay. You know what I mean? But even like with something like Asperger's, which is like it is on the autism spectrum, but isn't super blatantly obvious. Asperger's doesn't get treated with the same amount of regard as something like, say, Down syndrome, or um, something like a form of autism that's more visible. And so, you have a similar thing where people with Asperger's or people with ADHD also kind of relate to our struggle there, where it's just not obvious. And so people will just kind of overlook, giving us help and stuff. Where with kids, because it's more obvious, there's more incentive to do more. But then once a dyspraxic child kind of grows up, it's not like it's something that's obvious. Like, dyspraxics can read just fine. Dyspraxics can work just fine for the most part. And I'm saying that from the perspective of an outsider. That's how an outsider views it. Like, okay, you can work fine. You can do a regular job according to them. You know what I mean? You can do this, you can do that. But in all honesty, like, it's not that simple. It really isn't, and it sucks. Because if anything, it's harder. Because you don't have, well, okay, and that's, I can't say one way or another, because I mean, I'm only viewing it as my perspective. I mean, I grew up in the United States for one thing, so that's part of my perspective. From another thing, I went to I went to a pretty high end school. Like, not like, super posh private school or anything. But, I mean, but that's another thing, is like, with school curriculums, and also dyspraxia, again, wasn't really fully understood until even, like, recently. So, knowing how to gauge whether someone has dyspraxia, like if you can catch a ball or not, like that sucks. Cause like, but part of that too is like where you get your diagnosis from and where they go and see. Cause like, again, I mean, I came from a relatively privileged background. Like, not that my family, or at least my direct family, was rich, but my extended family was pretty rich. So my grandmother actually like paid or helped pay to get me to see like actual specialists and everything. So I actually went to like a Penn State University campus to get my diagnosis, and that was with like absolutely no help from like the school district or even like my primary care physicians or anything. So like part of dyspraxia being a very niche diagnosis too is just the fact that I mean, I've become friends with some psychologists, not even psychiatrists, but psychologists, who, granted, aren't going to have the same perspective as, say, a psychiatrist or a specialist. But even then, like, a lot of psychologists don't really know much about dyspraxia. They may have read a thing or two about it, but they don't know about dyspraxia because it's a very rare diagnosis. So I think that's part of it too, is the lack of visibility even in academia. So like you would have to, if you want to figure out if you or your child have something like dyspraxia, like for one thing you'd have to notice it, or you'd have to like be in a context where you either have a parent that's very like keen on trying to figure out what's wrong with you, and also you'd have to go through a bunch of like hoops and hurdles to ensure that you see like an actual specialist that's aware of something like dyspraxia, and that's the hard thing. This is giving me a video idea. Honestly, like I should do a video on how to get diagnosed with dyspraxia, because there is like a whole extra layer to it. And you mentioned our dyspraxia earlier, and one thing I've noticed that's really common is a lot of people will ask like, do I have dyspraxia? I have this symptom, and this symptom. So, and a lot of people will either self-diagnose or they'll play like armchair psychiatrist and they'll diagnose people for them. And that's something that is honestly really toxic. Like, it's not okay. Because like dyspraxia alone also shares a lot of symptoms with things that are even like not even neurodevelopmental disorders, but they're actually more serious. Like for instance, there's if you look up mercury poisoning, like mercury poisoning is actually, like if you look up the symptoms of mercury poisoning and you look up the symptoms for dyspraxia, they're very similar. So if say you don't know any better and you go into like say the R dyspraxia subreddit and say you like mercury poisoning, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've like worked in a lab and were necessarily directly exposed to mercury. But if say you have like a sensitivity to mercury, which isn't like all that, absurd, because there are people with sensitivities to certain like nutrition or nutrients and elements and stuff. So if say you do have like a sensitivity to say poultry or mercury or something, and then you consume too much fish or something, like you're gonna have a lot of very similar symptoms to that of dyspraxia. But you don't have dyspraxia, you have mercury poisoning. And now here, because you think that you have this neurodevelopmental disorder that you can't do anything about, now you've got mercury poisoning. But you're not getting treated for it. And that shit can kill you, especially if it's like, a small amount of exposure over a long time can be a silent killer. Almost like carbon monoxide poisoning. So, like, you gotta be careful with that shit. And that's part of what makes, like, self-diagnosis. With dyspraxia especially, it's like you really need to make sure you get a proper diagnosis. And that's where a lot of difficulty comes from, because I have, like, a lot of doctors that I see. Because, I mean, I do have a fair amount of health issues. I have gastroesophageal reflux disease. I have constipation dominant irritable bowel syndrome. And, like, the thing is, like, most doctors don't know about dyspraxia. Like, not just in the psychiatric field, but just doctors in general. And that can be dangerous because, like, something I get tested for a lot is, like, every time I see a new specialist, they immediately call for what's called a TSH3 and TSH4 test. And that's essentially testing your thyroid. Because the thing is, I have a really fast metabolism. And I also have, like, you guys have seen me, I have somewhat bulging eyes. Like, my eyes are big and prominent, which are all signs for things like hypothyroidism. Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, I've been in the U.S., and in the U.S., not a lot of people know about dyspraxia as it is, even in the psychiatric field. In the UK, it's better well known, but even then, I've heard from a lot of my subscribers that, like, even in the UK, dyspraxia is still poor enough known that most people in just general medicine don't know about it. So, that adds to the whole difficulty of it, too. And I'm surprised that even then people know the name of it, honestly. Because, like, there are a scary amount of people who I'll tell them, oh, I have dyspraxia, and they'll be like, oh, do you mean dyslexia? Because dyslexia is almost, like, more common than dyspraxia. And I have to explain to them, like, no, I don't. Dyspraxia is something different entirely. Because I feel like more people know the name of dyslexia here than dyspraxia. And I don't know if it's the same in the UK or not. But I feel like even, like, dyslexia is still, like, a recent diagnosis, is it not? Like, maybe not as recent as dyspraxia, but somebody in the mental health field that I have dyspraxia. Yeah, like, oh, so he conflated, wow. I'm surprised the mental health professional did that, because dyscalculia is something that's like almost something different entirely. Like, and that's one of the comorbids, I think, with dyspraxia. I know a lot of dyspraxics have dyscalculia, and that's oh, bada boom. Okay, so we have our first chat member asking what dyspraxia is. Woo. Okay, so bada boom. It's weird because my Streamlabs says there's only one viewer. Okay, no, okay, so it's where you get stuck on. Okay, bada boom. Okay. Bada boom. Dyspraxia is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects coordination and planning of movements. Basically, there's a delay between when you tell your body to do something and when it actually does it. Alternative, it also affects perception too. So it goes both ways. When something does something to you, or say you see or hear something, there's a delay between when that thing happens and when you actually receive that information, on top of when you react to it. And dyspraxia also affects things like perception as a result of that. Primarily, the diagnosis is planning of movements because of that delay. But it affects a whole variety of things. And welcome to the Orin Milne YouTube channel. Bada boom. If you are more curious about dyspraxia, I would heavily suggest checking out almost all the videos on this channel, where I do a more in-depth discussion on dyspraxia. Okay, there's one thing about dyspraxia. I haven't drank anything in a minute. I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded. Because I forget to drink sometimes. And being dehydrated and consuming tobacco, regardless of whether or not you have dyspraxia, is a horrible idea. So, oh, here, I have some right here. Okay. Cool, I do have some Propel here. So, before I pass out on stream, I got some Propel here. Oh, no problem, bada boom. And I mean, that's the thing is, dyspraxia is very poorly understood, which is what we were talking about here in the chat. It's curious thinking about dyspraxia is never brought up in my day-to-day relationships. Most I get is, why is your handwriting fucked? Yeah, that's actually really common. That's something that I don't think I've ever really gotten over. I have horrible handwriting even still. I think I have improved a bit with my handwriting. But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because it's unknown, like, I'm surprised I haven't gotten more of that with this channel, is people asking about dyspraxia and what it even is, because, yeah, I mean, well, and that's the other thing is, like, with the subtlety of it, like, that's usually the only thing most people would notice is, like, okay, maybe this person has bad handwriting, especially in adults, because it's, like, super subtle. And, I mean, like, if anything, that should ideally be where, like, people should understand it better, if anything, because of the subtlety of it. Because it should, if anything, make it easier for people to relate to it, if it's something so subtle. But if anything, it's almost ironic, because it's harder for people to relate. Because there are too many times where I try to explain to somebody what dyspraxia is, and when I just describe what I deal with, too many people will say, oh, I probably have that then. And it's like, no, you probably don't. But because it's something so subtle, like, almost everybody can relate to having walked into a room. Because this is something, like, I've had managers and good friends who, after I've explained it to them, would like explain it to others, like, oh, have you ever walked into a room and forgot why you walked into that room after you got walked in there? Um, like, everybody can relate to that because everybody's done that at some point. But the key thing to point out is that dyspraxia is a disorder, and therefore it's something that most people experience, but to an extreme. Like, and that's what separates a disorder from something like a disease or an illness. Is like even like certain things like personality disorders. I've noticed this like when I was doing research back earlier on in the channel, when I used to talk about other neurodevelopmental disorders that were usually comorbid with dyspraxia. One thing was personality disorders. And like the scary thing was like when I was reading about these personality disorders, I was almost convinced I had them because like they're because it's a disorder, it's something that like almost everybody is a little like everybody has a little bit of ADHD to them. You know what I mean? Not and putting it that way is kind of not only ableist, but like kind of a bad way to put it. But like everybody experiences difficulty with with focus once in a while. That doesn't mean they have ADHD. Everybody forgets why they walk into a room, you know, at some point. That doesn't mean they have dyspraxia. So, you know, like while it can help people relate, it can also have the opposite effect of making people think that it's something mundane when it's really not. You know what I mean? And it adds to the frustration too, because like to say, oh, it's like when you walk into a room and forget why you walked into the room, but all the time. It also gives people a very generalized, simplistic view of what dyspraxia it is, because then they just think, oh, it just affects memory, but it really doesn't. Like if you can look at almost all the videos on my channel to see that it doesn't just affect memory. It affects our social skills. It affects like it affects our emotions. It affects how we physically feel things. To some degree, it almost is like a sensory processing disorder. Like, we do have sensitivity to things like texture and touch and everything, which is why it's very similar to things like autism. And I've even had friends who had autism that thought, oh, you're just autistic. But it's like, no, I've been tested for things like autism and ADHD, and I don't have autism. I just have dyspraxia. You know what I mean? And that doesn't necessarily, I mean, the terms aren't mutually exclusive. There are plenty of people with autism who have dyspraxia, and vice versa. You know, same with ADHD. One thing that's really interesting, and something that I I used to talk about a lot in my older videos, was what it's a statistic that about 50% of people with dyspraxia are also diagnosed with ADHD, which is interesting because like dyspraxia and ADHD almost have like completely opposite mechanisms of action. Because like I've noticed with my dyspraxia, I have almost like an enhanced focus. Like my focus is like intensified. If that makes sense. So I guess what I'm going to have to do here, just to sidetrack a little bit, but I guess what I'm going to have to do here is, because I'm going to lose all these dirt blocks, which is going to be painful, but yeah, no, I definitely don't have enough dirt to use as a path block. I really don't like that witch is over there, because that is the only island that I will have direct access to from this pathway. I guess I could build a pathway outward and then go that way or that way. But Was that, is that acacia wood? I can't tell. But I really don't want to have to deal with that witch, because I'm going to have to do some more of this. So, but yeah, so I mean, that's the crazy thing about dyspraxia, though, is just how similar it is to other disorders, but also how similar it is to everyday life. And it gives such a poor perspective of what dyspraxia is to the layman. And I shouldn't have used the term layman, because I don't know, like, that's another interesting thing, too, is like, terms, I don't know what the word for it is, but terms to refer to others, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Because, like when it comes to comedians, when they're talking about non-comedians, I've heard them say a bunch of different things. I've heard some call them like civilians. I've also heard them call non-comedians like pedestrians. And it's like, how do you refer to people who don't have what you're referring to without using a term that's like demeaning? You know what I mean? Maybe because a lot of people that have comorbid is the reason it's not more known. Yeah, well, that's another thing too, because yeah, you make a good point. Like with a lot more severe things, like if you meet somebody, or if you're diagnosing somebody and they have something like autism, or why isn't this growing? Okay, anyway, if they have something like ADHD or autism, which can be seen as more severe than dyspraxia because they're less subtle. I don't I don't like the term severe, and I like that you put that in quotes, because like severity implies that it's something like critical or grave or even terminal. You know what I mean? And it also implies that something like autism or ADHD or another comorbid, like even schizophrenia, is worse to have than dyspraxia, or is necessarily a bad thing as opposed to dyspraxia, or worse. And like the thing is, and something I've noticed, which I try to stay out of politics, and especially the whole ableism thing, because I feel like it's counterproductive and it puts people on a pedestal, which is dangerous because there are plenty of people who have autism or who have like disorders that, despite the fact that they are marginalized, like we tend to overlook their flaws as humans too, as a result, which is dangerous because there are plenty of people with autism that are terrible people. Um, say schizophrenia is worse to have objectively. See, okay, so with schizophrenia, okay, here's the thing. I wouldn't say schizophrenia is pleasant to have. I wouldn't say dyspraxia is pleasant to have too. Um, but like, okay, I don't want to say anything because I don't have schizophrenia. Okay, and from an outside perspective, schizophrenia seems like one of the most like horrible things somebody could have. Okay, and that's not me being like a dick. I mean, if you've seen like people who have schizophrenia, they talk about it like it's the worst thing to ever have, and of course from the outside perspective, but like part of that is a societal thing, and I'm gonna explain because that sounds like a little woo woo, but like allow me to explain. So they found that people who have dyspraxia in like say like tribal cultures and stuff, like where they're seen as like visionaries and stuff, like a term I do want to do a video about it sometime, because my mom was always a hippie, so I grew up around a lot of like new age topics, And one of them was the term like indigo child, which I really fucking hate that word. Like, there's just something about the term indigo child that makes me really uncomfortable. And I don't know what it is. But, like, in communities where it's, like, more spiritual, or, like, in, like, tribal communities and stuff, where there's not even a stigma, but they're seen as things like gods and visionaries and stuff, like, this dyspraxia. Schizophrenia, like, those people tend to be a lot less, like, unhappy and like they don't feel like it's as much a disability because their view of schizophrenia is a lot less like terrifying. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like they seem to be a lot more. I need to. Okay, there is a citation needed here because I can't remember where I saw this, but basically, yeah. Okay, so Indigo Children is kind of all right. So in New Age communities, and you also have to keep in mind, like, with like the whole hippie thing, like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people find comfort in it. It's kind of like a religious thing when people are like spiritual, like things like astrology and all that. And the term of Indigo Children is kind of in that community as like it's like I don't know. I would say more neurodivergent people are seen as like indigo children. Okay, and it can be just like all things spiritual. It can be a cult thing, but it can also be like a good thing. Like, you know what I mean? Kids can feel like they're more in tune with the spiritual side, and it can give people a lot of comfort. And I would say it's the same thing with something like schizophrenia too. But like as a result, like I wouldn't say it's necessarily a negative thing, depending on the context. Like if you're in like a cult or something, you know what I mean, or you're in like a new age family, like one of those new age families that's like against vaccines and stuff. Then yeah, it can be a bad thing. But being in a context where you're seen as like in a higher light, you know what I mean? It it makes having the disorder a lot less miserable. You know what I mean? Because you're not. I'm trying to think of how to put this. Like the reason schizophrenia and the reason even dyspraxia sucks in the modern world is because in general people view it as a disability because of the stigma around it. It's assumed that, okay, because you have schizophrenia, you have to see scary things. You have to be paranoid that people are looking at you a certain way or what have you. You know what I mean? But in a culture where you're seen as a visionary or a culture where you're seen as an indigo child, you're going to be a lot less prone to a societal bias, so to speak. You're not going to be as paranoid. You're not going to be as put down because you're not going to feel like people are putting you down. There's not going to be the societal expectation that you have to be a certain way. And because you're not acting in that certain way, now it's bad. You know what I mean? I I feel like I'm not wording this the best, to be honest. But like, and that's it's the bad thing about dyspraxia is because like the world around us is very complex. So to try to explain something in a complex way like that is hard. And it doesn't help that we're all very scholarly people as dyspraxics. Like we use big words. We tend to be seen as more intelligent. You guys know I really don't like to say that dyspraxia makes anyone more intelligent because intelligence is specialized. But we do tend to be more scholarly, so to speak. And as a result, our brains have this enhanced view of the world, so to speak, and because of that, we tend to grasp complex topics, but it's hard to explain those complex topics because dyspraxia affects our social aspects the way that it does. You know what I mean? So, what was I going to do here? Oh, yeah, okay. So, I got to figure out how I'm going to do this because I don't want to die in lava here or lose that to lava. Come on, come on. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. I just lost that furnace. But, okay. I'm just trying to rearrange this so it's in a better way. Let's see. Wait, let me see. Can I make a lantern? Oh, wait. I don't think I can get iron in Skyblock. So I wouldn't be able to make a lantern even if... But let's see. I know this is an older map. It doesn't look like I can make lanterns, though, because it's an older map. I was going to say, if I can make a lantern, that'd be awesome. But that's weird, because I can make a campfire, though. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, like, stigma is part of what makes dyspraxia as damning as it is, just like it does with schizophrenia and indigo children and everything. And I forgot the whole point I was going off of here, but I wouldn't necessarily say that any one child can't be. I don't know, because it's hard to say. Because you have a point. Like, I don't think anybody should be held up on a pedestal to be, necessarily higher than anyone else. I can agree with that sentiment. Because you don't want to, like, boost someone's ego to the point where they think they're above everyone else. That's like, not good. That's toxic, whatever. You know what I mean? But it's hard to say you want to put them on a level playing field. Because if you set the standard that they should be on par with everyone else, then you set the expectation that they should be like everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, and then that brings us back to square one, where, now there's a stigma because these people can't do what we expect them to as a society. But it's hard because you have a good point about propping them up too. You don't want to just prop someone up just because they have a disorder. Not only is that, it's causing them to overlook, some things that can be very bad with a disorder, and it can even prevent people from getting help. But, I don't know. It's hard to say. It honestly is. Like, oh, I didn't put a sapling down here. I'm getting distracted here. Okay, cool. Let's say, what did I do differently with this stream? Because I noticed I'm getting a lot of viewers coming in. And I haven't had that in recent streams. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just curious because it feels good, honestly. Oh yeah, you've been able to make campfires in Minecraft. That's, like I said, this is an old map. That's actually an old feature that was added in Village and Pillage. Campfires are cool because you can make you can cook food on it without expending energy in your furnace. Yeah, here, let me I'll show you. Yeah, and then that way you're not using any fuel. You just use one coal or even a charcoal, and you can basically make one of these. Oh, it was added in Village and Pillage. I'm pretty sure. Or no, wasn't it? No, it was added before Village and Pillage, I think. That's right, because it was added in the update that fuck. I'm on fire. Um, what was it added in? It was added in the update that updated the taiga when they added foxes and everything. And I'm pretty sure that was before Village and Pillage. But yeah, I like old Minecraft. It's like, what the fuck? I used to have it, now I don't. Here, you know what? Should I hop into my personal Minecraft world so I can make a point here? You want to see my personal Minecraft world? I'll show it to you if you want. It's a work in progress because I just literally created it like in January. But the thing is, your Minecraft worlds will stay unchanged when an update comes out for the most part in the chunks that you were in. So like, okay, cool. All right, here's what I'll do. All right. Wow, I did not expect. Okay, so I didn't expect to be going in my personal Minecraft world. The only thing I'm worried about is the lag. Because if I go into my personal Minecraft world, it might be a little more laggy because it's not a skyblock. Oh, that's a weird bug. Where did my skins go? Here they are. Okay. So go into my regular skin here real quick. So I can hop into my personal world here. And I just started this world on January 3rd. So I apologize. It's not as impressive as most worlds can be. And I mean, because it's my personal world, I don't plan on streaming this world very often. But I do want to make kind of a point here. So what I'm going to do is, I just want to make a point here about you should keep your Minecraft worlds. Because here's the thing, I had a Minecraft world that I had for, I think it was 3 years. And then I got into this game Vintage Story, which is really fun. And I'm thinking, because it doesn't seem like my streams are lagging as much now, I might do a Vintage Story stream. Because it's a fun as hell game. It's like Minecraft, but 10 times more realistic. But I came back and I deleted my old world, and I really hate that I did that. Because this is taking a minute to load. But as an update happens, it doesn't affect what you built in the world. And if this will just load, I'll show you. Come on. Ooh, did I just get a heart? I think I just got a heart. Did someone heart this? Or is that just Streamlabs being weird? Marco Despider. Yo! What's up, Marco? Alright, now it's finally loading up, I think. Let's see, I hope this doesn't lag too much, because I know with a world this size, I mean, it lags for me when I'm not streaming. So, we'll see, let's see. Okay. Okay. So the hearts on my Streamlabs are throbbing. Does that mean you guys are actually, I don't know. I'm not used to streaming. Okay, so, yeah, I am getting a little lag here. I think it's just because I opened the world. Okay, so like I said, I apologize. I just started this world on January 3rd. Okay. So, basically, man, this lag is crazy. Okay, so, this is all of the world I've pretty much explored and built on. Yeah, there is definitely some lag here, which I don't like. Okay, now, what is the update that's coming up soon? 1.21? Yeah, 1.21 I think is the update that's coming up. So, when it updates to 1.21, all this in the world is not going to be affected. Like, they won't touch any of the chunks that I have built in, basically. So all of this will remain untouched. However, if I were to... Yeah, I am getting hella lag in this world. This world doesn't want me to stream. Oh, there's a creeper over there. Okay. Now, if I go out in the world, hopefully that creeper doesn't see me. Yeah, I keep buffering. Okay, yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop out of this world. Yeah, let me get out of this world because it's probably lagging hardcore. Okay. Let me know when I get back to reality, when I stop buffering, because that was, yeah. Let me just, okay. Yeah. So am I back for you guys? Yeah, I know it just said I like dropped a shit ton of frames. Um cool. Oh, it's so cool seeing a chat in my stream for once. That's awesome. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Okay. So, I guess the point I'm getting at though is in your current world, and I'm sorry guys, I didn't expect all that lag to happen. Skyblock for some reason didn't give me a crap ton of lag. I think I am going to drop out of Minecraft for this. So we can just continue talking because I really like how this stream is going, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hop out of Minecraft and let's see, video capture, because I like this dialogue we're having here. Where's the chat display? I know there's I gotta prepare to do this. It has been I did not expect to have an actual chat going, which is awesome. I heavily appreciate you guys. Am I still buffering at all? Soldier. Let me know. Just let me know, chat, because I want to... Where is... Pull, super chat goal, display capture, collab cam, chat box, there it is. Okay. Add source. Alright, cool. Then we'll make... Oh, fuck. Make me smaller. Alright. Shrink this down to here. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna hop out of Minecraft. We'll do something else. But, here, so let's transition over to here. And we'll pick another game to play, honestly, because I feel like Minecraft gets way too laggy when I stream it, honestly. And it sucks because I like Minecraft. I really do. But okay, cool. So it doesn't look like I'm lagging anymore, which is good. All right, there definitely is a stream delay. I'm not entirely sure. You know what I might do? Let me see if I hop on YouTube. Oh, but then it would be weird because then I would have it in the background, I guess. Hold on, I'm gonna figure out something here. Because I really like how this is going. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find my headphones, and we'll go from there. Here, give me a minute. All right. I don't know where my headphones are, honestly. I had them around here somewhere. I really need to clean my room. Thanks, Dyspraxia. Can you really blame Dyspraxia for that, though? I mean, that's the thing. Like, there is a noted thing with dyspraxics where we tend to be messy. We tend to have issues with maintaining order and cleaning our room. And it's hard to tell what exactly causes that. Let me just hop onto YouTube and see if I can watch the stream here on my phone. And if I can watch the stream on my phone, that'll be cool. But then the problem is I don't know where my headphones are. Well, if I mute my phone, I can see the chat in real time then. Because Streamlabs is cool, but there's like this chat delay. So when I see the chat, live chat. Okay. Well, let's see if that makes it better. Okay. So let's play a game. Let's play another game here. Let's see. I might have to change the title of this because we're not going to be mining anymore. But see, should we play Project Hospital? I like me some Project Hospital. Yeah, you know, let's play some Project Hospital, and we can go from there. So, let's see, auto. Yeah, the problem with Project Hospital is Streamlabs doesn't really like to. Okay. I was thinking of one of these days playing something like Fallout or Skyrim, but I'm going to need a better computer for that. Because I honestly don't think I can run that while running Streamlabs. Why isn't it pick? Oh, okay, I see. So, see if we can get this game loaded. I also have Roller Coaster Tycoon, which would be a fun game to play on stream sometime. Alright, it looks like we're good, so let's transition back. Alright, cool. So, this is Project Hospital. This is a fun game. I guess, is there a way I can... Streamlabs is so confusing. Okay, cool. So, this is Project Hospital. Yeah, there's definitely like some stream delay, which I don't get, but it is what it is. The only problem is the chat box. Let me see if I can add a background to that. Here we go. And we'll see if... See, I don't like that it's transparent like that, because you can't see what you guys are typing. But we'll see. Okay, so Project Hospital. This is a hospital management game. Oh, wait, no, it was building something in there, too. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm just trying to think, because I wanted to play Minecraft with you guys. I really did. It's just Minecraft lags like hell. Here, should I go? You know what? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna play some old Minecraft. We're gonna hop into the old Minecraft world. Let me see if I can get the Minecraft launcher working. I apologize for all of this. This all kind of went a little unplanned. I didn't come into this stream with any real plan, to be honest, though. I honestly just wanted to... Waiting on install. No, I'm playing 1.0. Finalizing. Okay, cool. Because... Here we are. Okay, so we got it. Go on. Good? I think we're good. Okay. This one shouldn't lag as much. It'll give me something we can talk about. Okay, cool. There we are. Okay. Old school Minecraft 1.0. Just for you, Soldier, for Davis. We're going old school. This is actually a project I've been working on. So we'll hop into this. Mining with Dyspraxia. Let's go. Okay. So, I guess I can make the same point here. Because the whole point of this world is because of how updates work. You see, everything I've explored and added here, when I update it, will stay here. It won't mess around or anything. Like, the updates don't mess with your current world. The thing is, any chunks I haven't been in, though, will update. So my plan with this world is, well, right now to get a map. And then once I get a map, once I get a map, I'll update to 1.1 and then explore another map in 1.1. Basically starting with one map that'll be 1.0 and then working my way outward with each update. So every map will be a different update, essentially. But it'll all be in the same world. So we can watch as the world progresses. And of course, I do want to do things like outside of just mapping the world. Like here I started, this is real old school Minecraft. This is 1.0. So here I started this farm here for mapping. Soldier for Davis, if you go to my my YouTube channel, I mean, do this after the stream, please. But if you go on my YouTube channel and you go under the live tab, you can see I actually started this on stream. This is my Minecraft streaming world, and from the look of things, it doesn't seem to be lagging at all, which is nice. So, yeah, we're cool. This is how Minecraft should look to you. Yeah, well, and here's the thing. I mean, we'll move with the updates. So, my plan in this world was to... Originally, for 1.0, I was going to take this and just go all the way down from here. Now, the thing is that takes a very long time, because I need to get down to redstone layer to get a compass to make a map. And that sucks. So, let me just see if the chat's... Yeah, okay, cool, it's displaying. Alright, but that takes a long time. So I was thinking, for this part, that I was originally going to do today until I decided to play Skyblock instead, which, you know, silly me. But, what I'm thinking of doing is just going straight down, like digging straight down and getting my redstone that way. Thing is, I think I'm going to need some more pickaxes. Just in case. So, yeah, I guess what I'll do is... And here's the thing, I mean... Old school Minecraft has its perks. It really does. Okay, but... It is a pain in the ass sometimes. Like... When I shift-click this wood, it doesn't go into the crafting inventory. It just goes right back to my inventory. Which is a pain in the ass. Like, stuff like that. Like... There's just some quality of life features like manual crafting. This is part of why I was hesitant to hop back into this. Because it's fun. It really is fun. But going back after playing in my personal world is just, it's difficult. But let's dig straight down. Let's see what happens. And, I mean, we can pillar ourselves back up then. Should I make the drop shaft here? I think I'd just make a drop shaft here. And that's what I'll call it. I'll call it the drop shaft. Dirt this up here. I want to make it a little organized. Well, okay, so here's the thing. You say that. Only mad lads with death wishes. But... I have a process, so to speak. So, you'll see what I mean here. I can't pick block. Yeah, I can't pick block, which is annoying. Just takes a minute to get used to all this, but once I'm in it, I'm good. It's interesting, because I started doing this, like, this month. This stream idea of playing updates as we go down. Yeah, see, I started on PlayStation 3 as well. But, unfortunately, you can't go back in time like that. So I have Java Edition because it comes with Bedrock on the PC. And with Java Edition, you can go back as far back as you want. So that's what I decided to do, was go back to 1.0 and then work my way outward. So here's my process. If you stay in the middle here of 2 blocks, wow, that's as far down as I can mine. You can dig straight down, and you don't have to worry about falling to your death, which is nice. And I learned this a long time ago, but it's really cool. And then that way, I can just get down to redstone layer. It's weird because this is like my first time. Well, technically my first time playing Java was the first stream I did this in, but nobody was in it. But this is essentially like my first time playing Java, and it's 1.0, which is fun. Like, because I didn't have Java. Like when I first got into Minecraft, I was playing. I had a PS3, and I literally only got that PS3 because, like, at the time, I played a lot of WWE games. That was my thing, right? And you had WWE, like, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 was still on the PS2. Even as, like, far back, or, like, yeah, like, even up to, like, 2012, I think, was when, or was it 2010? I think it was 2010, when SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 came out. And it was, like, crazy that even as far as like, what was it? Yeah, it had to have been 2010. So even as far as like 2010, they were still releasing like new WWE games on the PS2. Oh shit, there's diamonds. Okay, cool. So since I'm at diamond layer, I guess what I'm gonna do is I need to. I know there's gonna be lava around here, so this is a little trick. Mine around your diamonds before you mine your diamonds, so that way you don't have to worry about them falling into lava. But yeah, so it was crazy that they were still releasing on PS2, but I mean, I've always been a broke bitch. So, like, I enjoyed not having to buy a new console. And then when WWE 12 came out, I had to get a PS3. And I literally only had WWE 12 on the PS3. I didn't have any other games for it. And a friend of mine was like, "Oh, hey, I have a PS3. We should play Minecraft together." I was like, "What's Minecraft?" And he got me into Minecraft, and since then, I played Minecraft. You know what I mean? That was my thing. So for the longest time, I mean, I only played on console. That's how iron is supposed to look. Oh man, you are a Luddite, man. You definitely are an old school Minecraft person. Wow. I should put down some torches here, so nothing spawns. Well, okay. Here's the thing about netherite. um, I've never gotten to netherite, but the thing is, and here's something I like about the updates, is you really don't have to like interact with them at all. Like honestly, um, there it is. That's what I need. The redstone. This is what I came for. Awesome. Okay. And then I'll have everything I need. So usually, now when they started adding all these extra things, man, Soldier for Dave, you are a hardcore old school Minecraft guy. I gotta say. I'm not knocking you though. I mean, I don't blame you. The only reason I prefer older Minecraft, I think I'll collect some of this too here. The only reason I like playing older Minecraft is I like seeing my world progress, like as the updates come out. Like I am pro update. I'm sorry, Soldier for Dave. I'm not knocking you though, and I don't blame you. Especially how many people like still only play like 1.5.7, the alpha version. Like, you know, I get it, but it's like I just feel like I want to have that progression in my world. So we'll see. All right, and that's the thing. I like how you have all these giant veins of like coal, iron. How many diamonds? I must have gotten a lot of diamonds too, because that was like, yeah, I got 7 diamonds. Nice. Okay, cool. So wait, Soldier for Davis, did you not like the texture pack I was using on my on the Skyblock world? Because that's the texture pack I was using even in old school Minecraft. I always use the natural texture pack just because I like the way it looks. Oh shoot, it is nighttime here. So I am gonna go into safety. Oh, I left that door open. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, wow, there are... Where did all these creepers come from? I don't like that. I don't like all those creepers there. Yeah, no, I feel that. Like, seeing these older textures does give me nostalgia too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel you, and I do like the simplicity of it. Is this? Did I do this right? I did. Yes. All right. Let me see. Am I? Yes, I have the first map. This is it. This is 1.0. This is my 1.0 chunks. The plastic texture pack was alright. I was in the city one for a little bit. I like the city one. I always preferred the natural, just because I liked how like darker it was. It was a lot less bright for me. I just used the city texture pack not that long ago though. Oh God, where all these creepers come from? There is nowhere I am safe from creepers. I like got the map I was trying to get, and now I've got creepers everywhere. What I want to do is explore all of this map, and then I can update to 1.1 and go from there, and see what's in that. So that these creepers will stay away. God, sprinting doesn't do shit. Oh, and I forgot about this, how I do, when I come back here, I miss swimming, honestly. Oh, I took damage even in the water. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, anyway. I think I took less damage in the water, though. But what I want to do is explore this whole map. And then from there, I can update to 1.1. Because, I'm sure there's things I'm going to want to do along the way. Which I'm going to do. Like kill some of these cows. Oh. Well, okay. I feel you. Because I was always a broke bitch myself. But, awesome. Hey, welcome to the chat, Freddie Rosen. Awesome. Man, you know, it's nice seeing a lot of Dyspraxics as well. So, what was I going to say? WPS. What does WPS mean? Oh my god, I feel old. WPS. Isn't that song by Meg Thee Stallion? Really dirty one. I don't know. But see, I never got into Bed Wars. Yeah, the pillagers were pretty cool. No, I agree. But the thing about, what was I talking about? The texture packs. I didn't get into texture packs until recently, to be honest. Because when I stopped playing Minecraft for a little bit, when the PS3 lost the updates, when they stopped updating the PS3, to move to the next gen. Because I was too broke to get like a PS4 at the time. And so I just didn't play Minecraft for a while then. Or I would just play on my old worlds, but it just didn't feel right because I wasn't getting the updates. So then what I did was I got a new computer, and at the time that was when Bedrock had just like did the Better Together update thing. And so, because I had a Windows 10, it came with like the free trial of Bedrock. And then when I went to go buy it, I unintentionally bought the deluxe edition, which came with the natural texture pack, the plastic texture pack, and the Greek mythology mashup pack. And that's how I got into mashup packs. And that's how I got into playing Minecraft on PC too, honestly. And it was an adjustment. Like, I feel like when you have dyspraxia, it's better to play Minecraft with a controller. And I know Bedrock has controller support, and now I do have an Xbox 360 with a controller, so I could in theory do it, but I don't know. And this was always the most annoying thing ever. This was before we had swimming. Oh man. So Soldier for Davis, did you like the update Aquatic at least? When you were finally able to swim? Because this is hell. I mean, this brings me back, don't get me wrong. I am not complaining too much about this. How's it going, best day ever with HJ? Alright, we got someone spamming in the chat. Oh, okay. HJ, I don't know if you can play with me, considering I'm playing on an old version of Java, for one thing. I'm playing on Java 1.0, and I don't know if I can multiplayer on that. But for another thing, what is this? God, this old world gen is something else. Should I build a base here while I'm in this little corner here? Oh yeah, that's right. Why didn't I think of crafting a boat? Oh my god, why did I not think of crafting a boat? Thank you. Thank you for that. No, you got it right that one time. UPDATE. Why didn't I think of building a boat? I can't believe that. I am so silly. Although with this manual crafting it's one thing I don't like about Java is the manual crafting. And I know, what was it, I think they added a way where you don't have to manually craft in like a later update. See, this is how you make the boat, right? Like that? Yeah, okay, cool. Alright. We have a boat, and in good time, because it looks like it's getting dark. Alright, no? Okay, cool. We have a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Motherfucker, look at me because I'm sailing on a boat. How does that go? Did I do that right? It's been a long time since I've heard that song. Oh, God! I forgot that happened. Okay, so here's what we need. Oh, I left the crafting table over on that island. I forgot that boats used to break like that. I don't know, Soldier for Davis, your whole old school Minecraft strategy is falling apart. I liked when boats didn't break in newer Minecraft, just saying. That's score 1 for new Minecraft there. Breaking boats. Let's see. We'll try this again. It's these lily pads. They're made out of steel or something. Okay. These boats are going real... Do the boats always go this slow? Oh, man. They're like fragile as heck. Oh, there's this little island over here. A little pig over here, too. Yeah, I think it's the silliest thing that they won't add sharks to Minecraft. They say they won't add any hostile mobs that exist in the real world because they don't want people to they don't want kids to think it's a good idea to hurt them. Which, I mean, I don't know, it just seems kind of counterproductive because you can kill spiders in the game. And you guys know I love spiders. I keep spiders. No, they don't exist. They won't add them. Um, but spiders are actually mostly harmless. You have to try to get most spiders to bite you. Spiders are very, very docile creatures. So why is it okay for spiders to be in the game and for kids to think it's okay to kill them, but not sharks? Honestly, a shark is more likely to kill you than a spider will. I mean, it's just how it is. See, the boat's fine when it doesn't run into anything. It's just that, yeah. Hey, Soldier for Davis, you leave spiders alone. Soldier for Davis, you've been following my channel long enough to know how much I love spiders. We don't disrespect spiders on this channel. Spiders are our friends. And they're the best pet a Dyspraxia can have. Because they're super easy to care for. And you only need to feed them once or twice a month. See. Alright, Soldier for Davis. Oh, it was a nice chat. I'm actually going to be done with this soon. So, it was nice seeing you, Soldier for Davis. I always like seeing you in my streams and my comments. I'll be streaming again. I mean, you know me. I just kind of stream whenever, so we'll see. You have a good day, Soldier for Davis. I'll be off soon anyway, so you're not gonna miss much. I'm either gonna be exploring this map a little longer, or my girlfriend's gonna be home soon, so I am gonna have to hop off soon. But it was nice seeing you, Soldier for Davis. You have a good day, man. And there's creepers over here. Alright, so here's the thing. Oh god, these spiders are fast. Oh man. No! Leave me alone. Can I still jump in the water and like not die? Oh man. This is not safe. I am not okay. Why can't you be more like the spiders in real life? I was just talking about how spiders are great animals. They're not. Come on, leave me alone. We're friends. Ugh. Okay, so I might have to finish this map project another time. I was really hoping I would at least get a good bulk of the map done. But I don't know, I might have to run home. Let's see. I think home is over here somewhere. There's creepers. The old Minecraft world is kind of a scary place, honestly. Like, I can't speak for modern Minecraft, because I'm not in it right now. But I swear, like, modern Minecraft isn't as scary as old Minecraft is. And maybe that's just me. But once I get home to safety, I'll end this stream. But for now, is that my home? Tell me my home's not far from here. I don't know if I can do this much longer. Okay, I'm in the swamp again. So I know I'm not far from home. Like, home is over there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. It's crazy. I forgot boats were in 1.0. But I think we made some good progress today. Filled out a lot of the map. I made the map.